everything's going good. Today we're going to be doing just a quick video on A-level OCR lawmaking, parliamentary lawmaking. So the first thing we really look at are the green and white papers. Now a green paper is a consultation document issued by the government, a minister or department who has responsibility for the issue, where they put their views forward with a proposal for a new law. And then people who are interested are invited to give comments, that they can consider for making the law. And it's not like a set in stone law. It's kind of just like a proposed thing, a few set of ideas, nothing set in stone. But what is much more solid is a white paper, which follows the green paper, which is, after considering all the views received by the interested parties, the government will publish a white paper, which is the firm proposals for a new or reform law. So green paper is just the general ideas, nothing set in stone, just the general elements of a proposed new or reform law. And a white paper are the much more set in stone proposals for the new or reform law. And of course there are different types of bills which will be introduced. Public bills affect the public as a whole. Government ministers, front bench MPs propose the majority of public bills. They're the most common type of bills introduced into Parliament. So it's much more rare for this to happen to backbench MPs, but public bills are what we generally see. Front bench cabinet ministers put these bills forward, and they affect the public as a whole. Private bills, they're designed to pass a law that will only affect a particular area or organisation or institution, not the whole country, like for example local authorities like councils or private companies. And then private members' bills are public bills, but they're introduced into Parliament by backbench MPs. So that's the key difference between public bills and private members' bills. They're the same in that they affect the public and the public as a whole, but public bills are brought forward by your prominent cabinet frontbench MPs, and private members' bills are introduced by your backbench MPs, or peers in the House of Lords, where only a few private members' bills become law, as not much parliamentary time is given over public bills. But yeah, a good key example of a private member's bills being successful, very successful actually, is the Abortion Act 1967, which legalised abortion by registered medical practitioners in the UK, Great Britain, which was introduced by Liberal backbencher MP David Steele, who was not a frontbencher. So that's a very great example of a private member's bill that was successful. The Constitutional Reform Act of 2005, which notably got rid of the law lords in the House of Lords and established a UK Supreme Court, is an example of a public bill introduced by frontbench MPs. And finally, the legislative stages in the House of Commons are pretty similar, but they have some differences between the two chambers. So in the first reading is a formality, just read the main aims of the bill. In the second reading, there's the main debate on the bill, then it's scrutinised in the committee stage, and then the amendments are voted on. Then in the report stage, the bill is read to the Commons, debated and voted on. And the third reading is the final chance to review and debate and vote on the bill. A lot of the time we see something called parliamentary ping-pong, which is back and forth between the House of Commons and House of Lords, and the House of Commons generally wins because they've been elected. They've got an elected majority, whereas the House of Lords does not. and they can bypass the House of Lords with the Parliament Act 1911. And then after all this, after the bill or the law is ready to go, it is given a royal assent by the monarch, which is a formality because they have to really approve the legislation, whether they approve of it or not. But yeah, those are the key parts of parliamentary lawmaking. Thanks everyone.